In this video, we will prepare the more members for the static class and the non-static class, and we will understand the way how we are going to call the members from the main thread. So for that, let me create the one more file here under the static versus non-static folder. That file name is the members. Now here, let me remove everything. Here, I'm going to give the namespace, that is the static and non-static members. Now let me create the static class. I have given the class name, that is the employee static logger, and I'm going to create the one more class, that is the non-static class. Let me name, that is the employee non-static logger. Now in the static class, let me take the one field, that is the employee list, by followed by the integer data type. Same way, I'm going to take the same field here in the non-static class as well. Let me remove the static keyword. Here, if you are going to see this field, now I have given the non-static member, right? So the same way, even you can design with the static also here. So that is the main difference. When we are going to using the non-static class, you can call the static members also. But whereas in the static class, always you have to give the static members only. The static class cannot access the non-static members. And coming to the static class, I'm going to take the one method, that is the lock message, which is accepting the one parameter, that is the message. And here also I will take the one method in the non-static class with the same name, that is the lock message, without the static keyword. Okay, so let me here remove the static also here. Let it be remove the static keyword. Let's say public integer employee list 0 only. Now coming to this method, let me prepare the one console.writeLine. I will print the message like log and message. Whatever I'm getting the parameter through this method, I'm just printing on that. Then I'm going to increase the employee list. Okay, so whenever I'm going to call this method, first of all I'm trying to print the message, and then whatever the employee list, I'm trying to increase the by one. Same way here also I'm going to follow the same technique in the non-static method. And static method, let me take the one new method, that is the get message count, which is returning to the employee list. Whatever I'm having the field, that field I'm returning here. And let me prepare the one summary for this method. Summary you can design by using the three forward slashes. So once we are going to prepare the three forward slashes, automatically you will get the intelligence like that by the C# compiler. So here you can prepare the summary. So here I'm giving the summary, like here we are going to get the total number of messages, summary, and returns I'm going to say integer, because I'm returning the integer value. Same technique I'm going to copy and paste here, but in this case I'm going to remove the static method. So now I have created the non-static class and the static class, both the classes under the single namespace, that is the static and the non-static members. Now let me prepare the program for calling the members of these two classes. So for that, let me class program. Let me create the main thread in this program. First of all, let me print this log message from the static class. For that, let me take the class name of the static class, that is the employee static logger dot log message, I can say here. So it is expecting the one message. So that message I'm passing the John has joined on October 1st, 2021. Okay, so this is the way I'm trying to pass the message to the log message. Same way I'm trying to call again this message again. Now I'm going to give the different message now, that is the Robert has joined on same year, that is the 2021, but the month is changed, that is the November month. So now this is the way I have created two log messages. So after that, let me call the get message count. So for that, let me take the class and dot get message count. Okay, so whatever I'm getting, whenever I'm going to call this one, anyway it is returning the value, right? So for returning this value, let me take the integer, and I'm saying that employees count is equal to, let me prepare the console write line. Before we are going to execute the program, we have to make sure that static and non-static members program should be the startup object. So now let me save all, then we can execute the program. So now you can see John has joined 10th month of the 2021 year, 11th month of the 2021 year, and the total message here 2. Why here 2 is coming in the sense, the static member, whatever the static class, whatever we are calling the message get message count, the same field it is sharing to the entire the static class, so that whenever the John has joined, the employee count is 1. At the same time, whenever we are going to call the same robot, so then that employee has increased with the 2. Now let's understand what is the behavior of the employee non-static logger class. So first of all, let me prepare the employee non-static logger class. So for taking the members from the non-static class, we have to create the instance, right? So let me create the instance, then let me call the members, whatever the members of the class. So now, for now, as of now, I'm going to call the log message. Again, I'm passing the same message, whatever I'm passing the non-static static class, I'm passing the same message over here. As of now, let me comment out this code. We know that static class which is returning to the two employees list. Now let's see the behavior of the employee non-static logger. So now again, I'm going to copy this one and paste here. Okay, so now print the employee count, that is the non-static logger, right? Here I'm going to say the total non-static log messages. Okay, that will be good. Now here what you can understand in a sense, the same instance you are taking, and by using the same instance you are calling the log message and again log message, and by using the same instance you are trying to print the value. So there is no issue. Again you can see the same output, whatever the static behavior, same way non-static also you can see the same output. So one more thing we can do here, that is, let me take the one more instance for the employee non-static logger. I can say 2 here. Okay, here let me change with the non-static logger 1. Let me copy, let me call the this John has joined this 10th month of the 21 year by using the non-static logger 1, and for the Robert I'm going to use the 2. Okay, so now instead of the non-static logger 1, I'm going to say the non-static logger 1 here. Reference is the employee count 1 and count 1 here. So in this case, here I'm trying to call the log messages by using the two different instances. That is the first instance, that is the non-static logger 1 first, and this is the second. Okay, so now whenever we are going to print the message by using the specific instance, then you can get the only that particular employee count here. So now that is the 1. So whenever I'm going to use the non-static logger 2 dot get message count, on that case also you will get the output is 2 1 only. So for that I'm going to see the employee count 2 here. Let me prepare the non-static logger 2, and I will print the employees count 2. Okay, so now if you see the output again, in this case, first whatever instance that is returning to the 1, and second case also it's giving the 1. So now what you can understand here in the sense, once we are going to create the instance of the particular class, that instance will create the new memory for that class, and then whatever the data apart from that non-static class, that will be occupied to the that particular instance. So in this case, the John, whatever the John, this one it is belonging to the first instance, And the robot, whatever the robot you have created, that is belonging to the second instance. So both log messages, what you are trying to call, both are not part of the single instance. Okay. So whereas in the static class, there is no chance you can't create the instance. That's the reason the employee count it will be shared globally entire the class, so that always you are getting the count is 2. And one more thing, that you can create the static members into the non-static class. There is a one live example you can see here. Class which is the non-static class here program, and you are defining the static method, that is the main method, into the non-static class. This is the one kind of a example, practical example you can say.